Hey everyone, this week we are back with another cleanup video. Today we are going to be cleaning up a blacksmith post vise that I found in my grandfather's barn. Now, you're going to see it in a little bit, but I managed to find a date stamp on this that was marked 1911, which means that this vise is over 110 years old. Now, the first step is going to be disassembling it, and then I'm going to remove all of the rust off of it. My methodology for rust removal is going to be soaking all of the components in vinegar for a few days and then scrubbing it off. That methodology seemed to work really well with the components I tested it with the foot-driven vise. Then, once all that's said and done, I'm going to give it a nice clean red paint job to protect it from any future rust. Before I begin, here's a quick view of the other vise I restored after I put the touch-up paint on it. I didn't have the footage of it post-touch-up in my previous restoration video and promised I would show it in this one. Now here's what we're working with today before I've even touched it. With the help of some penetrant, this vise came apart relatively easily. So interestingly enough, the story with this vise is that I was talking to my grandfather about blacksmithing and how I've been getting into it, and he just goes, "Oh, go look in my barn behind my horse feed barrel on this floor of my barn. I've got one of those there that's been sitting there for 30 years. And sure enough, I walked into his barn, and it was sitting right there untouched for many, many years. A day or two soaked in vinegar makes it really easy to just scrub the rust right off. It's amazing how nicely these parts cleaned up. This is what all the parts look like with all the rust removed. I'm just covering the jaws themselves with this tape as I don't want any paint on there. Even the high heat stuff would burn right off. I'm working on this. I just found there's a date stamp, 1911. I'm guessing serial number 35. Kind of cool. I'm going to look for other serial numbers now. Today, I'm going to be doing a much simpler paint job than I did on the other vise. There will be black high heat paint on the top near the jaws and red paint everywhere else. I'm just covering the jaws themselves as I do not want paint on there, and even the high heat stuff would burn off. The red paint actually went on really nicely, it just didn't dry as fast as the other paint that I used for the other restoration. And it was starting to snow as I was recording this, so I really had to hurry and rush the underside or second coats of it that were on the sides of the pieces resting on my table there. When I reassembled this one, some of the paint job was damaged, so I spent a little bit of time here doing bits of touch-up paint here and there across the vise. Okay, I'm very happy with how this vise turned out. I have to say, the red paint was a lot brighter than I originally anticipated. I was expecting a deeper kind of cherry red, but it still looks great. I'm very happy with it. I have to say, I'm also very, very amused with how similar the vise looks to a post vise when looked at it from kind of the side of it. I'm going to dub that its name now, is that this vise is the pipe wrench. Did I say it looks like a post vise? I hope not. Anyways, I do have to say, I did realize one mistake I made was painting the screw that drives the vice's mechanism. I really should have avoided that. But after opening and closing the vise across the range that I'm realistically going to use the most, stripped the paint right off. So for the vast majority of work that I'm going to do with this, it'll be fine and not a problem anyways. All in all, the vise came out great, and you can expect to see it in a bunch of blacksmithing videos in the near future. Okay, that's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you did. And I will see you next week. Bye!